These are my last days in America as an American. I don't know when I can come back.
Remigration is just another racist dog whistle for they want to get rid of everybody who is not white. No, literally. That's what they're saying. This is coming from the official Homeland Security page. That's crazy work.
Hi lovelies, welcome back to the channel. So there's a TikTok video going viral right now claiming that the Department of Homeland Security posted something about remigration and the internet is losing it. Now, whether the post is real, edited, taken out of context, or just part of the ongoing political chaos online, one thing is clear. People are reacting non-stop, especially Black Americans who are calling out the voters who supported this administration. The emotions are tensed and the comment section is on fire. A quick disclaimer, this video does not support conflict or division. I'm simply breaking down what's trending and the reactions happening across social media. Alright, let's get into it. Watch the clips and let me know what you think in the comments. But first, all credit goes to the creators of the clips featured in this video. Okay, so let's go watch the clips.
Everyone who voted for this to come to the front. Department of Homeland Security put out a post that said, re-immigration now. Now, if you don't know what re-immigration is, it's a far-right concept of ethnic cleansing. They're essentially trying to whitewash the country. That means that they want no minorities. The way that they are doing that is by removing Hispanic, Mexican immigrants. But please know that the rest of us, the blacks, any other minority, mixed race, biracial, however you identify, if you are not pure white, they're coming for you too. So what I would like is for everyone who voted for this administration to let me know in the comments whether you knew you were voting for this and this is what you stand by, or if you feel like this isn't what you voted for and you are no longer supporting this administration. And those of you that didn't vote for this, let me know in the comments how you feel about this. I am absolutely disgusted that this is the America that we live in. What happened to checks and balances? Rant over.
The Department of Homeland Security decided to tweet this today, calling for remigration. And if you guys don't know what remigration is, it's essentially a right-wing talking point that calls for immigrants and people of color to go back to their countries of origin. It's picking up steam in places like the United States, Australia, Canada, which coincidentally are all countries where white people are not actually native. They call for everyone to go back home except for themselves. But if we're going to remigrate, you first. Go back to Scotland, go back to Germany, go back to Europe, and see how welcoming these people are towards you. White, but ignorant, monolingual, and uneducated. And then we can talk.
If you're an immigrant or a green card holder, you might have heard the news that the Trump administration is revisiting your status if you're from a third world country. Now, admittedly, most people are probably just shocked and also dismayed and pretty much anxious all the way around because now you don't know what's going on. I see a lot of patients of mine who working for tech companies who have been affected by the H-1B kind of uncertainty. And now we got green card holders and people in general. So what are you going to do? Number one, take a breath. This is an anxiety provoking and moment. It's something that's outside of your control because you have a lot riding on the situation. It's your job, it's your livelihood. It could be your partner, it could be your family, it could be your future plans. It could be all the things you might have just bought a house. Maybe you think about doing this and this and that. So it's important to keep that in mind. And just remember that these things can pass and this situation will probably get resolved, will may get challenged. But at the end of the day, how it affects you day in, day out should not be such a negative turn of events, and you can exert control of the situation based off how you handle it day in, day out. Exercise, be with family, make sure you take care of yourself, and eventually talk to your friends, talk to your support systems. Things will work out, and if they don't, it's not the end of the world. Your physical livelihood is not, no one's going to kill you for it. I know I don't want to dismiss it, but at the end of the day, sometimes you got to just put things in perspective, and eventually you'll be able to resolve it. You're a smart person. You've got good support systems around you. If you don't, maybe that's the thing we got to work on. And once we work on that, you're going to do great. Just take a breath, one day at a time. It will pass.
Migration now is code for ethnic cleansing and mass deportations, whether you're a citizen or not. It started meaning that certain demographics were returning home voluntarily, but it's been hijacked mostly by European neo-Schnazi circles and alt-right circles here in the United States, the same ones that are actually running our government at the moment, to mean not returning home and not voluntarily, but more along the lines of, let's get rid of anyone we don't want in this country that we want to be all white. Yes, this term has traveled from European fascist circles and movements into possibly, and quite obviously, I would say, into the US government's language. And yeah, we should definitely be concerned. It's far-right extremist code for eliminate, extinguish, exterminate, and deport anyone that you don't feel belongs, whether they are citizens or not, whether they were born here or not, whether their family has been here longer than you or not. Which means any of us can get it. And yes, the same ideology behind the remigration theory or movement or solution is also the Great Replacement theory. It's behind the anti-immigration laws. It's behind the book bans, the voter purges, the anti-trans laws, the anti-black fear-mongering. And it's behind every attempt to shrink who counts as a real American and who doesn't. It's colonial logic. With language like this, the United States government is laying the groundwork so that they can decide who gets to stay, who gets to be erased, and who gets to be protected. Notice how when they talk about remigration, they're not talking about sending themselves anywhere else. No, they talk about Latinos, Muslims, Africans, Asian communities, Palestinians. Let's keep it real. Black Americans have seen this before. From slave patrols to sundown towns, the agenda has always been the same. Control the demographics, you control the power. So we're gonna call it what it is. It's ethno-nationalism. No matter how they try to dress it up as a cute little euphemism, we see what it is. Everyone should see what it is and what they're saying. They want a white America, a whites-only America. And they're not being quiet about it anymore.
These are my last days in America as an American. I don't know when I can come back. Hopefully it'll still be safe to cross the border and come back and get the boxes that I'm leaving with friends here and there. My partner got a job that's going to sponsor them for a work visa, and so they can come back and get our belongings. But we can't take them with us to the border right now because we have to not move. We can't move there, so we have to show up with nothing more than 2 suitcases. So my belongings are going to be 2 suitcases at the border, and everything else has to either be rehomed to friends, donated, or thrown away. I have 3 boxes left that I am putting with different friends in the hopes of being able to come back and get them, including all of my books, all my books, and my art. And this process has just been one of tremendous loss. I am an artist, and I donated art supplies that I've been carrying around since I was a teenager. Just gone. And I am no longer somebody who does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because I'm not going to be able to afford it once I leave. And I'm no longer a gun owner, which was an important way that I felt safe and empowered in this violent fucking country. And I'm losing all of the objects that...
Do you know why this tweet from Homeland Security is so dangerous, calling for remigration? As a former history teacher, let me explain to you why you need to understand the context and use of that term specifically and what it could mean for the United States. Also, we told you this would happen, but let's get to the history and how it's even being used today in Europe. Let's start by going back in time to Germany in the 1930s. I know, not the best place to time travel to, but you need to understand what the Madagascar Plan was. This was a plan set up by the Yahtzee government that intended to solve the Jewish question, historical educational purposes only. Their plan was to deport them to the island of Madagascar, just to get rid of them entirely, because again, it was all about ethnic cleansing. They wanted pure Germans, and that population Well, they weren't really German. In fact, they didn't even see them as human, so the best solution was to get rid of them. Now are you starting to see why it's so dangerous that Homeland Security is using that term remigration? And it's also picked up steam recently in Europe. Let's go to Italy, where Giorgia Meloni, the current prime minister, is advocating for these policies and even put them into place. And just to be clear, this is taking off throughout Europe, not just Italy. It has been propagated by far-right groups across the continent over the past several years. But Italy is where it's actually starting to take off, as it were, because they do not have birthright citizenship. Being born in Italy does not guarantee you the right to live there or become a citizen. Unlike the United States, where we have the 14th Amendment and the protection of birthright citizenship. And by the way, the current administration is challenging that. They want to strip people of their citizenship and get rid of birthright citizenship to make it like Italy. So even if you have legal status here, you're living in a country legally like Italy, and you have a child there, that child is not guaranteed citizenship or even legal status. And in Italy, people are concerned that their children, even though they are there completely legally, could be deported to a country that they have never seen or known. And that's what they want to try and do here in the United States, because again, you've probably heard of something else called the Great Replacement Theory, propagated by far-right podcasters, news figureheads. I use that term loosely. This has been going on for decades, and now it's in motion. It was written down in Project 2025. You didn't listen, and here we are today. And now the Department of Homeland Security is blatantly dog-whistling white supremacist groups, far-right groups, by using the term remigration, which is just a fancy way of saying YT supremacy and ethnic cleansing.
And that's the wave of reactions currently flooding TikTok and X. But whether the post was real or misunderstood, one thing is clear: people are worried, people are emotional, but definitely not Black Americans. Why should they be worried where they're already home? Why should they be emotional where they're already in their house? I don't know if you get. But one thing is clear: the conversation is not slowing down anytime soon. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Do you think social media is blowing this out of proportion, or there's something deeper going on here? As always, this video is for awareness and discussion only. No hate, no division, just highlighting what is trending and how people are responding. And if you enjoyed this, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the next video waiting for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.